the weekend, Vice President Mike Pence spoke at the Notre Dame graduation ceremony, but some graduates were not having it. Take a look.
My fellow honorees, guests, grandparents, family and friends gathered here, all who've come from near and far to share a special moment.
Now, some students said they walked off because Pence's policies made them feel unsafe. They didn't appreciate him, and so isn't that what civil disobedience is supposed to be?
See, it bothers me. They have a right to do it. I mean, but it bothers me that it seems that young people, the generations that are rising up, have a hard time listening to stuff they disagree with and just listening. There's a lot of times that I go into a room and someone's speaking. I don't like their policies. I don't necessarily like what they advocate for. I don't necessarily agree with them, but I sit and I listen. And sometimes I leave that room more passionate about how I feel and saying, wow, I really don't like that guy. And sometimes I learn something and I say, you know what, there's another side to him, or I hadn't thought about that. It's okay. I think the message needs to be, it's okay to disagree, but you don't always have to get up and walk out.
They're not there really to listen or not listen. They're there to make a point. When they walk off, they're making a point. The point is, I'm an LGBT person, let's say, right? You do not represent me. You are hostile to my people.
And maybe you need to rethink your policy.
Maybe you need to, we're making a point now and a statement.
It's very American. It's the bedrock of our society, the ability to get up and walk out and make these points. And I mean, I went to Notre Dame, and it's a very conservative university. And in 2009, when Obama came, conservatives were very upset and protested because of stem cell research. And so bottom line is, this is something that's a tradition for Notre Dame. And I want my Notre Dame fellow members and graduates and alum to stand up for what they believe in. That's what we should be doing.
But part of that should be an appreciation for diversity of thought. And the fact is, you don't have to agree.
They know what he's thinking already.
But they don't have to agree with him. And so, maybe their protest is their disagreement.
If there is a guy who,
if there's a man who is,
because sometimes, if you know what somebody has to say, you don't want to hear it. I don't, I think most of these folks made a very specific decision because what he was about affects them in such ways that they don't want to hear it. Because really, if, I shouldn't have to listen to a guy who's wearing a hood, who I know wants to string me up. I shouldn't want to.
That's a little bit different.
No, it's not, because it's no different than an LGBTQ kid.
He's trying to murder people.
Listen to me. Ism, okay? Whether it's, racism or you don't like gay people, when you say to somebody, I don't believe that you actually feel that way, because I believe that God has told me, forget what God has said to you. God told me that you shouldn't be who you are. When you're sitting with someone who is saying that to you, you don't want to sit and watch it, and you don't want to disrupt it. You don't want to scream, but you want to get up and say, I'm not going to take it.
When we walked off, Whoopi and I walked off the set one day. Everybody who watches the show knows we walked off the set when Bill O'Reilly was talking about against a certain group of people and sweeping it against Muslims and saying that all Muslims were going to be terrorists and they're responsible for 9/11. And to sit there with him and argue the point seemed futile to me.
See, that's different, though.
My position was, I'm not going to sit here and listen to this.
That's different, though,
that was
because
your right.
And Barbara Walters was upset with us.
Okay,
she said to both of us, Whoopi and I both walked off. She said, you should have sat there and argued with him. And then we were like, no, we didn't want to argue with that, because it's worth it for us to show you the back of our...
He made an inflammatory remark, though, and if you listen to the speech that he actually gave Mike Pence, there was an opportunity for some unity there. All I'm saying is, if we want to be a country that has some unity, you have to be able to sit and listen.
You know what? No, listen. What needs to happen is he needs to stand up and say, some of what we're doing is not good. for America.
he doesn't
And then, well, but, you know, those people have the right to get up and walk
They
out.
have
We'll
the
be right
right.
back.
I agree. They have the right.
You know.